Joe, finally, before we get to Roy, you have demonstrated your greatness by beating your contemporaries and the great names of this era, and there's always the next guy. However, in this case, there really is a guy out there with a mandate to fight the light heavyweight champ. He's undefeated, he's young. Given Pavlik's loss to Hopkins, the one guy left is Chad Dawson. Do you have anything to say about Chad Dawson?
I think you wasted talent, man. You should be a promoter. You should be a promoter. What can I say? There's obviously there's always someone young and coming through. Same with Lacey, same with Kessler. You know, I've beaten two legends this year in Hopkins, and even bigger legend in Roy Jones. I've fought them both in the States. I think I showed everybody that not just fight at home. I took the risk. I come to Vegas. I come to New York. And thank you so much, my fans. I love you, man.
Well, if this is the last fight of your career, Joe, thank you for a spectacular career. It was a pleasure to watch.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
Light heavyweight champion, Joe Calzaghe. Now, Roy, you had him down and hurt in the first round. What were you thinking at that moment?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to all my fans for coming out to support me. I thank y'all all. Y'all been wonderful fans for my whole career. I thank y'all for all coming out to support me. Pensacola in the house as always. What happened was when I knocked him down, I had two plans. I couldn't make up my mind which one to do. I wanted to go at him. You know, I didn't want to go at him, but I started punching too big after I hurt him with the big shot, trying to get him again, and I got out of my fight game.
We've never seen you cut like this ever. Was this an issue of, and we'll show you a replay here.
Yeah.
Tell us what you see.
He caught with a good shot, but that ain't when I cut. I think he caught with the right hook that cut my eye. When he caught with the right hook right behind my glove, it cut my eye. I was like, whoa. It was the first time I ever been cut. I was like, oh my goodness. But I'm game. You know, I love fighting. I don't care. I'm gonna fight to the end always. And I still gave it my best effort, but the guy was a better man tonight. I got out of my game plan and he won. So congratulations to him.
When you were at your best, no one ever won. No one ever came close to winning. And now, whether it's because punches are landing or because the skin is not as elastic as when you were younger, you're being cut, you are fighting valiantly, yet in a losing effort. Is this finally the end of Roy Jones, or will there be more?
Well, I'm not sure. I'll go back and talk to my team, talk to my family, see how I feel. If I feel good, I'll continue to fight. If I don't feel good, I won't fight no more. But the good thing about it is I'm game to the finish. We got a new president. I'm very glad of that. I came, I did my best, I gave my all. Joe fought a smarter fight than me tonight. He's the better man tonight.
Is there a measure of redemption for especially the Glenn Johnson fight where you seemed disinterested? By the way you fought, you kept mentioning you gave it your all. You did. You continued to seem to try to win in spite of the long odds once you were cut. Do you find a measure of redemption in the way you fought tonight?
Yeah, I do find a measure of redemption. I still went 12 rounds with a cut even. I still beat adversity. Coming back from what I came from is very difficult. Not many fighters could come back from being 3 losses in a row and get themselves back to a top fight. I brought myself all the way back and got back to the top and competed against the best fighter out that day, and that is somewhat redemption for me. Thank God for, like I said, for keeping me in good health. Like I said, hey, everybody in Pensacola, sorry I didn't put it off, but I tried. Pensacola's still in the house. Y'all still my #1 fans. Thank y'all all in New York for supporting me. Thank everybody who came, and God bless y'all all.
Tremendous performance, especially considering we're talking to almost a 40-year-old. Roy, congratulations. This is the end on a spectacular career.
Thank you very much.
Jim?
All right. Well, Max Kellerman asked the right question, Emmanuel Stewart, because with Kelly Pavlik taken out of the Calzaghe sweepstakes by the loss to Hopkins a few weeks ago, most people don't expect that Calzaghe would even consider giving Hopkins a rematch. You know, if you've beaten him once, why give Bernard a second chance? He looked so great against Pavlik. Can he stay away from young Chad Dawson and indeed live up to his pledge to retire?
I hate to say it, I hope he does, because he has nothing he's going to gain by coming back fighting Chad Dawson. It's a good fight for Chad Dawson, maybe. And not saying that he would lose. I think that he has a good chance of beating anybody, meaning Joe. But I think it's nothing to gain. He's right now got a record that's unbelievable. He's accomplished everything. And maybe when you consider his record, maybe one of the greatest fighters of all time when you look at it just as a record. And I would like to see him just, like he said, he's going to stay in boxing, start promoting. He's got 2 sons he wants to work with. He will remain in boxing, and I think he's going to get bigger and bigger each day that he's retired.
Let's look at the historical context of what Calzaghe has accomplished. Once again, the opportunity exists for him to retire undefeated. And as we look around in the sport for significant, noteworthy champion-style fighters who have actually retired undefeated and stayed retired so far, That list would include Marciano, Ricardo Lopez from Mexico, who fought in the 108-pound weight class, Floyd Mayweather, who is probably sitting in Las Vegas enjoying our mention of his name right at this moment, Sven Otka over in Europe, who never really came over here and fought American opposition as Calzaghe has. Max, doesn't that mean in the unbeaten category, the three top guys at this moment historically are Marciano, Calzaghe, and Mayweather?
In the unbeaten category, but if you really look at it, Mayweather we anticipate will come back. Ricardo Lopez was unbeaten but not untied. And finally, Sven Otka was unbeaten because he never fought Joe Calzaghe. They were both super middleweight belt holders. Still, if Calzaghe were to retire and remain retired, 45-0 with the names on his ledger, it would be remarkable. Let me say this. There is always the next young, hungry fighter. And it's not incumbent upon the reigning champion necessarily to stick around and continue to fight them until he loses. Lennox Lewis walked away on top and thus far has remained retired, and his status grows daily as we think more about his accomplishments, and his brand says winner. There was no one really at the time Lennox retired with a mandate to fight Lennox Lewis, a young undefeated fighter who is so clearly the #1 contender to his championship. I'm not suggesting that Joe Calzaghe stick around just to stick around or to fight the next young hungry guy. I'm suggesting that Chad Dawson has already established himself as the guy to fight. There is no one else there, and were Calzaghe to face and beat Dawson, he could truly say he beat everyone in his era. I think there's a difference in Calzaghe's position than there was at Lennox's at the moment Lennox retired.
I agree, but I think if he chooses to bypass Dawson, which may turn out ultimately to be the better part of wisdom, few if any critics are going to go at him for a decision like that. All right. Well, it may be the last time around for Roy Jones. It may be the last time around for Joe Calzaghe, but they gave us plenty of drama tonight. Thanks very much for being with us. Calzaghe Jones has been brought to you by Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena, and by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. We'd like to thank the following internet partners. And now for our entire crew, I'm Tim Lampley saying so long from New York City.